Like this way?
Yeah, if you want to shift that.
Hello,
we're live.
Hi, we're going to shift the camera over.
Yeah, we got a brand new camera, so everything's
I
around, so so you don't see all the mess happening. You want to go that way. Keep it going. Keep it going. That's good enough right now for now. Oh, look! Now you can see the second wall happening with us. Too.
Oh, cool! We look so nice.
So welcome. Okay. Hopefully you can hear us. We're not even going to check the sound.
Are we not? I'm going to.
We got to go for it. We got to trust.
We're going for it.
Trust in the new camera. And if somebody shows up and they say, "Hey, they didn't hear this," or if you do the whole thing and you can't hear anything, then we'll re-record it later.
I'm gonna look at it right now. I can't help it.
Come on, we got to trust in the new camera.
I trust the new camera, but I'm gonna just test too and make sure.
So if you notice,
it works.
If you notice, we've got a wider range of view, which means we got to clean the room up a little bit more because it's in disarray because we're putting together the Blakey Library.
We've kind of left this room to one side to get the library.
Yeah, so everything's coming in here while that one's getting organized. And but if you notice, now you get a better view of the whole library.
Well, of us too. Look how good I look. Hey.
Wow. And you can see over here, I've got there's a big mess over here because these are all movies that
clean up your mess.
Well, this is stuff that are giveaways. This is stuff we talk about on the show that we're fixing to talk about on the show. Different things. So this is work. This isn't a mess, but it looks like a mess. But now we can get more organized. So anyway, welcome to another episode of
Hollywood Matrimonies TV Tuesdays. We're coming at you live exclusively on YouTube every Tuesday to talk about what's going on in TV.
The Hollywood Matrimony Network.
Oh, we have our own network.
Yeah, we have our network. We got like 4 or 5 shows now.
Exclusive.
We got like 4 or 5 shows now.
We do. We have a whole network of shows.
And I'm working on possibly a new one.
And this time I made a list of what I want to talk about.
So did I.
I'm not unprepared. Your list is long.
So I also have some news.
Oh, I got a news item too.
Awesome. All right.
Your news is my news.
If you want, basically what this show is obviously talking about TV, but it's not necessarily new TV. We mix it up, whatever new shows we may be watching, but it may not be a new show on the television. It may be new to us.
Yes.
Sometimes we dive into old shows. It could be about something that just got released. It may not be. We'll see what happens.
We never know.
What do you got for us today, sister?
So today I wanted to talk about Russian Doll Season 1, which is available on Netflix.
Back to watching it finally?
I finally finished the whole thing.
Did you finish the whole
Yes, it was so good, and you kind of figure out what's happening, but not really. And then the greatest thing is at the end, it's like
I'm dribbling all over myself.
Confirmed, Season 2 coming soon. So I was like, yes,
awesome.
We get more. So check it out. It's Natasha Leone. Leone. That's how it's spelled. I don't care, but I like Leone. And who is the cute black guy that's in the show? What is his name? The other main guy.
Cute black guy.
Well, he is a cute.
I'm just saying.
Sorry,
the other actor in the show. Why you gotta marginalize him by his looks while putting your husband?
That's true. Sorry.
While putting your husband down.
Sorry, the nice guy that is in the show with her, and his name is something. Anyways, it doesn't matter. You need to watch the show. It's available now on Netflix. It's a lot of fun. Basically, it's kind of a Groundhog Day thing, except she keeps dying.
Yeah, it is. But then it shifts to another person too, because I know that.
Yeah, that's kind of, it's not an isolated incident, and we're trying to figure out what does it all mean. And so that's what you got to watch. But I think the interesting sub-theme of the show is if you die, people still keep going. I mean,
what? You mean everybody keeps living?
Yeah, but then the other thing is that your death does have a profound effect on others.
Yes.
Obviously.
Is this something you didn't know?
Well, no, because I think throughout her life and even his life as the show goes on, they don't feel like it even matters. They're like, whatever. But your life does matter. It is important. And it does touch on different themes of like homelessness and people who are kind of marginalized, kicked to the side, the effects of suicide, the effects of gun violence. I mean, there's so many underlying sub-themes. Even religion is talked upon. You find out she had kind of a tumultuous...
Did you just say grape upon?
Yeah, tumultuous experience with her own family and his family and the relationships you build and how in the end, we're all kind of one people, then we're all connected.
But then we're all worm food.
We are. But it's a really interesting kind of in-depth series, and things start happening every time this happens, and things start changing. And so it kind of becomes a question of a multiverse experience, really.
All the thing I think about is, do you know the worm song from When You're Dead?
No.
The worms crawling, the worms crawl out, the worms play pinochle on your snout. They eat your eyes, they eat your nose, they eat the jelly between your toes. Giant worm with bulging eyes goes in. I don't remember the rest of it.
Oh, I've never heard that one. No.
Goes in your
Wow.
Goes up your nose and out your eyes.
But it's true. You become worm food.
It's something. It says
This is
goes in your nose and out your eyes. Something, and then it says, and that's what you eat on bread when you're dead. Something like that. You didn't heard that before?
No. The guy, the main co-star in it is Charlie Barnett.
I don't like him.
He is super good. He's actually really good in this role because, yeah, well, you just see there's different versions of things happening, and you just got to pay attention now. This is one of those shows where you got to pay attention.
I enjoyed the first couple episodes, but excuse me.
Then we got distracted.
We were in Chicago at the time, and then I was looking for fun and entertainment, and then we got the snowstorm.
Got a little heavy.
The snowstorm hit us, and I was battled by. Which is ironic. You're talking about that show. I'm wearing the shirt from that trip.
Oh, that's so cool.
It was not planned because I did not know what you were going to talk about.
Cool.
This is my Star Wars Celebration Chicago shirt.
That's nice. All right, tell me about your shirt. What do you want to talk about?
I'm showing my shirt in high definition.
I'm showing my shirt too. It's purple. And it matches my watch, which is also purple.
That is
and my glasses, which is also purple. All right,
so I have a couple of shows. One, and you haven't seen this yet. And I know that you might seem behind, but it comes out on Blu-ray and DVD. I think it was last Tuesday or today. I don't remember now. I just finished The Walking Dead season 9.
Yes.
And I finished it because we moved in the middle of the show. We ditched standard television and we do all streaming, and so I don't have AMC anymore because you have to pay for an AMC add-on, and there's not enough on AMC that I really want to watch since they canceled Comic Book Man and a few other things that I like. Yeah. So I opted to not get it, so I had to wait for the Blu-ray to get here. I got the Blu-ray. We posted a review for it on our site at
HollywoodMatrimony.com.
But you think you're 2 seasons behind now?
I am officially 2 seasons behind, and it's on one of my lists.
Because I think the last season you watched is when they just introduced Negan, right?
Yes.
Oh no, you saw the beginning of that. What happened at the beginning of the last season?
Yes, I saw who got
the baseball bat.
And then that's where it left off. I think I was too traumatized to continue.
That was the first That was the first episode of the last season. So you watched the first episode of last season.
I'm just 2 seasons.
So
behind.
Last season,
I know some crazy things.
Yeah, last season ended up being kind of the war versus that area, Negan and all this stuff. So the new season, it kind of jumps ahead. It's kind of rebooted and started again because we're over that part of it. We're doing new stuff now. We're doing new people. There's new mysteries. The new big bad, if you will, that shows up this season is so cool. It's one of my favorites. This character is called the Whisperers, which I believe they're from the comics.
Okay.
But this isn't really, well.
Don't spoil.
Yeah, because it's kind of an unveil in the show, so I don't want to ruin it. But it's a unique take on people versus zombies. That's all I'll say. Okay. But even more so for me, the guy that played Opie.
Opie Cunningham?
Opie on Sons of Anarchy, Ryan Hurst. The one of that he's the guy that got killed in that episode that shocked the hell out of me.
Yeah.
When they killed him off.
Oh yeah, I remember on your show.
He's the also guy that was in that detective show we watched, and he was kind of the one that was like autism that did the computers and stuff.
Yes.
That's him.
Oh, okay.
He plays one of the Whisperers.
Oh. Okay.
Which I was like, holy crap, I was so excited. And he's such a big dude. It's perfect casting. But I really like this new season.
Do you? Because for a little while we got a little bummed out of it.
Yeah, I was kind of out of it. This season was the same way initially. The end of last season sucked me back in, so I was interested to see what was going on. This season, the first half was okay. It was give or take. It was a lot of residuals from what happened last season.
There's always fallout.
As they build up and introduce new things and go to. But once they brought the Whisperer characters in, I was all in. And the way they ended it, it's more cliffhanger stuff. So I'm intrigued to see where we're going with it.
Oh God!
This season, did you fart?
Oh, it was the dog.
This season also saw 2 new main characters leaving the show.
Oh.
Not in death ways. One of them, which is well known, so it's not really a spoiler.
Well, don't tell me.
But
I don't know.
One of the main people that've been with the show since day one has left the show, but they're also doing some spin-off movie stuff they've announced.
Oh, that's it.
So it'll probably follow a said character. There's another character that left the show that, again, I knew they were leaving. They even had another TV show that was on for a little bit. So it was obviously that's why they left. But they were just gone.
Oh,
they didn't leave or do anything.
There was no explanation.
They mention them periodically still, like they're still there. So I think what they've done is they've just stopped following them.
I see.
In the idea of that they can come back anytime they want.
I gotcha.
Because they did say when they made the big announcement, they said that they were welcome to come back. Both is more factual. Gets changes. but again, it kind of just it ends it, and then you're like, what happened? And so I see why they're doing some other stuff. So there's some big changes, and then I heard another major character's leaving next season too.
Well, it's been a long running show. What are we on?
It's fixed to start season 10. So.
And the average is 7 for most shows.
Yeah. So, but I really enjoyed it. So the new season, I believe, is on Blu-ray and DVD now. Check it out if you haven't checked it out already.
I'm gonna check it out.
We've got all 9 seasons, so you have no reason to be watching.
I need to get caught up, girl.
So what else you got? Is it news or another show?
Another show.
Okay.
I started watching also on Netflix, Tiffany Haddish Presents.
I thought you were about to say Octomom.
No, Tiffany Haddish Presents. And basically she's bringing out female comics, and it's a comedy series. So each episode is she's introducing a new comic to us that you may or may not have heard of, and they're mostly female.
It's like the old school comic shows that they used to put out, like
exactly.
Like Rodney Dangerfield used to do that special thing on HBO all the time, and he'd bring out all these different comics, and he was the host. And he didn't do stand-up.
Exactly. She's the host of the show, and she's like, you need to know who this person is.
Yeah.
And so I've just watched one episode, and the first lady was very funny, and at the end.
So do they get the whole episode for that one person?
Yes. Oh, it's a 30-minute.
See, that's where it's different. A lot of those old ones are like 30 minutes to an hour, but it was like 3 to 4 or 5 people.
No, it's one person
or an hour and a half special.
It's one person per episode, and they get a 30-minute set. And it was a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun so far. I mean, the first lady, it was funny. Her shtick is she's a black woman married to a white guy, and she's like, he's not just a white guy, he is a socks with sandals white guy. And so they are completely
so basically
opposite.
Just insulting and making fun of her husband.
No, but also
I'm offended by
the situations. Like we've had that too, where people look at you, and they went somewhere like in LA, and like no one's looking at us, and she's like, that's because we ain't celebrities. So just funny things that happen in their lives. And so I liked it.
Looking at us?
I don't know. I liked it, and I thought it was awesome because they think you're a very light-skinned Mexican.
I'm not Mexican?
You're not, baby.
Wait a minute. Are you?
Half.
What? When did this happen?
I'm white.
That explains all the beans in this house.
That's why the dog's farting on me.
I just didn't understand. I just thought
I had a bean spill, and
I thought you just had a weird bean fetish. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know you were Hispanic. Oh.
Kidney beans, pinto beans.
Christmas tamales.
Black beans.
It's all making sense now.
And you don't really like tamales.
And the gibberish y'all talk. I just thought I wasn't paying attention. Y'all were speaking gibberish. It was Spanish. I just thought y'all were weirdos.
You know Spanish.
All right, moving
on. Anyway, so check it out. Tiffany Haddish Presents. It's available now on Netflix if you like comedy specials.
The other show I think is one that you're behind on as well. And I believe I know this because I found out I was like 2 episodes behind before I started it. But Ballers is back for its 5th and final season.
I'm not behind on Ballers, am I?
Well,
I love The Rock. How could I be behind?
Apparently, when I went to watch the new season first episode, there was 2 episodes that I hadn't watched. And when I watched those 2 episodes, I'm pretty sure I didn't see a few before that. So.
Oh, shoot. Give me a pencil.
I don't have one in here. This is a movie room, not a pen room.
Go watch Ballers.
But the 5th and final season has started.
I put it on my list. Oh my gosh.
And things are being turned upside down.
Because I remember last season we had what's his name was there?
Yeah, that was the beginning of the season. Russell Brand.
I love Russell Brand.
Yeah, he's out about halfway through that season.
Okay, then I didn't.
But he does come back at the first episode of the new season.
TV shows.
But this season, just in the first episode, the tail end of the last season, into this 5th season, we're diving more into The Rock's brother that he's loosely mentioned a few times in the show.
Oh my god!
And I think it's just you at this point.
Oh my gosh!
Hey, give me my notes.
He is tooting on me.
You're fine. Is he alive?
He is.
Make sure that's not like the death smell.
No, he's breathing.
I don't want my dog down on the air.
Vader, why are you farting on me, man?
Anyway, but
and dog farts have a very
this season dives a little more into the Rock's brother situation and his stuff he's been struggling with that. And come on, get professional.
I'm sorry, I'm getting professional.
They can't see a fart. If you wouldn't act like that, nobody would know.
If you could, it would be a big green cloud.
And then it would be a great. Then we can add a special effect later.
Let's add it.
But anyway, it's dealing a little more with that, and he's taking a whole new approach with dealing with it, and something massive, really big. It's also dealing with. I think at tail end of last season, I think they started dealing with the kneeling in the NFL thing.
Yeah.
They started dealing with some of that, and so now it's carried over into this too. So I've only watched like the first episode of the new season. But The Rock did do a video before it started and said this is going to be the final season, and
okay.
So we'll see how they wrap it all up. So it's available on HBO.
Very good.
You got anything else?
I didn't know if you wanted to talk. I have still more. I have more.
Okay, well.
I didn't know if you wanted to talk about the comedy special we watched, because
we can.
It's technically kind of TV.
I mean, yeah, we can if you want.
All right.
I'll finish it,
on Netflix, we watched. Did it have a name?
It's Dave Chappelle's. I think it's called Sticks and Stones.
There you go. The new comedy special by Dave Chappelle. It starts off pretty intense and racy, man.
Every one of his shows. You missed. It got even deeper.
Because he talked, obviously, about black people in the N-word. He talked about the LGBTQ community and how they don't like being part of jokes.
There's the whole Michael Jackson thing.
He talked about Michael Jackson
I didn't tell you
straight
this.
up.
My son texted me about 1 o'clock this morning because he knows I'm up.
Yeah.
And my son works all day, so he's usually up only at night or available at night. He goes, didn't even ask me something. He goes, have you watched the new Dave Chappelle stand-up?
Yeah.
I said, we just finished watching it. He goes, I am just up to the Michael Jackson part. Oh, my God.
Yeah, because he just went there.
Well, what you missed is he went into the Jussie Smollett stuff, too.
Oh, no.
But it was confusing at first because he's like, have y'all heard about that French guy? And he's like, c'est Smollett. it was so funny. But he talked about all the stuff in relation to the scandal.
Yeah, he just goes there. And you know what? It's not going to be for everyone. I thought part of it was a little bit harsh, but
which part? Just out of curiosity, without going into the joke.
I thought the Michael Jackson stuff was harsh because I believe that Michael Jackson did do something. I don't know about these particular people.
Yeah, without going into detail, I'm kind of in the same boat. I don't necessarily believe everything that's ever been said about him, but I believe there was some inappropriate nature because it may not have been
too many people.
Well, but it may not have been full-on molestation, but a 40-year-old man in bed with a child.
It's weird.
Playing games or just having sleepovers is inappropriate. Now, whether he mentally understood he did anything wrong or not does not change the fact he did something wrong. Now, do I necessarily believe he was having sex with all them? I don't think so. I honestly think most of his stuff was that weird, innocent mental problem is what I think it was. I honestly think his inappropriate nature was inappropriate because he should have known better as an adult.
Yeah.
Not necessarily touching people.
Yeah.
But
anyways, the jokes on the Dave Chappelle thing were just straight up if he did it, oh well. And I'm like, ooh.
Well, because he's Michael Jackson,
But here's the thing. This is my belief with comedy. They should be allowed to say whatever they want because it's in the
Well, that's the issue
comedy.
that we're dealing with right now in comedy.
And that's why he brought up the LGBTQ
He does a whole
thing.
Did you hear the Louis C.K. thing?
No.
He does a whole Louis C.K. thing, and I think that's when you were dozing off because we were watching it kind of late. Because Louis C.K. is one of the people that basically lost his entire career over the Me Too thing. Now, what he did wasn't right. But it wasn't. He made a point. He goes, nothing he did was illegal. What he did was gross.
Yeah, probably.
He basically masturbated in front of people.
Oh.
Hey, watch me.
And that is
I think even Sarah Silverman has seen it. She goes, we just thought he was stupid. But she goes, I can see what they say now.
Some people
but as comedians hanging out with him, they were all just comedians doing something, and he just weird, gross stuff. And is it inappropriate? Of course. Is it gross? Yes. But Dave Chappelle made the point of, you couldn't call the police on him for it. He didn't touch nobody. He didn't do nothing to nobody. Now,
exposing yourself.
Yeah, maybe the exposing part, but he's like, when you call it saying, what did he do? Well, he touched himself, and then he on himself, and so he lost a whole career because of that. Not to say that he didn't do anything wrong, but it was that kind of thing, and how this whole movement has kind of. He talked about how the women, he agrees with the movement, but they just went about it the wrong way because they're taking people out for stuff that may or may not need to be taken out for. Now it's every single thing. Yeah. And so he makes light of it, but he makes it in a very.
But that's the whole point with comedy.
Yeah.
They should be allowed to
it's got to be where
they want to say. So
it's gotten to be where if a comic is offensive, it's a problem. Where it used to be, if it's
all comedy is offensive most of the time
to somebody. The problem with comedy used to be nothing was off limits on comedy. It might be in bad taste.
Oh, the Michael Jackson section to me was in bad taste.
See, and I didn't find it bad taste. I found it hilarious. Because I get what he's going through.
Well,
but at the same time,
from my point of view, if something did happen, I feel bad for the victims in the sense that
I agree.
Be making light of it.
But nothing offends me.
I know.
So
that's true.
I live in the world of I'm watching a comedy show.
Easily offended.
No. I'm watching a comedy show, so
you got to be open.
And now if I'm watching somebody I've never met, never heard of before, it might catch me.
The only thing that would make me mad is like that one time when we were at the Improv, and if you sit too far up to the front and they pick on you, oh no. Well, that would bother me. Don't pick on me.
And one of the other one I was telling you, I apologize, I don't remember the guy's name, but I watched this other comedian on Netflix. It was an English kid. And in the middle of his show, I guess somebody got up to go to the bathroom or leave or something.
Yeah.
And he goes, and this is a stadium type thing. It's a big one. And he's like, hey, where are you going? You know, and he had just done a joke about how his dad didn't come to his shows, but it wasn't because, you know, he was like, you know, if you don't come, he's like, it's not my sort of thing. Yeah. You know, but he didn't tell him I find you funny and stuff. He just like, it's not my sort of thing or whatever. So he's like, as the guy's leaving, he's like, what do I have to do to please you, Dad? You know, so he kind of played in the same joke, but yeah, there's a whole thing of comedy now that you know if you know the comedian, like I know Dave Chappelle.
Yeah,
I watched his Chappelle story. I watched his movies. I've watched all of his stand-ups. I know what I'm getting.
Yeah, you know.
And if you watch somebody and then you get offended by them when you know what you're getting, I think is a problem. Yeah. Where he even talks about it, and that was the thing I love that he started at the beginning, is he talks about you want to talk trash about it? He goes, you picked me. He's like, you clicked on my face to watch that special.
Exactly. So we can't be upset now.
And then when he made fun of everybody talking about how everybody's the trolls, he goes, y'all are the problems, you know. But it's all true. It's like he's offending everybody. And he says at the end of the special, which you didn't see because you fell asleep, but he had talked with him. He goes, I'm sure I offended everybody or somebody in this room. He goes, I love everybody. I love the LGBTQ community. I love these people. I love that people. He goes, it's about making people laugh, but also about making people think, blah, 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 you know. So anyway, moving on. Dave Chappelle's Sticks and Stones comedy specials on Netflix now, along with
check it out.
The Tiffany Haddish. What did you say it was?
Tiffany Haddish presents They Ready.
All right.
Because she's like, they ready. Because you know how she does her.
Yeah, yes, I know.
So that's what it is. That was not very good impression.
Do you have another show or anything?
I have one more show. Do you have any other shows?
I have another show too.
Tell me about your show.
All right, my other show, the one I've been super excited to watch, is another HBO gem. The Righteous Gemstones. See what I did there?
That was nice.
Thank you very much. I'll be here all
What
week.
is the Righteous Gemstones?
The Righteous Gemstones stars Danny McBride, John Goodman, and Adam Devine.
We're friends with Danny McBride. He lives. Right. He's a teacher.
It's Danny McBride, John Goodman, and Adam Devine.
Oh, I like him. And some people do not like Adam Devine.
I love him, but they play a family of ministers in a mega church.
Oh Lord!
John Goodman is.
I'm offended already.
John Goodman is the patriarch of the whole family. He's kind of like the stereotypical big time preacher. Him and his wife basically created an empire. But I believe theirs was very based on Christianity and hope and whatever. And his wife did all the little books and stuff. So it shows like old videos they watch sometimes in the 80s. And you remember the old times where like Tammy Faye and whatever, and they're up there and they're like, that's so funny you say that. Oh, the Lord works. You know, it's like, they're playing up that thing, right? But then now she's passed away.
Okay.
And it's him and his two sons. And both of his sons, which are Danny McBride and Adam Devine, are also ministers with the mega church.
Of course.
Their names are the Gemstones.
Oh.
That's their last name.
I see.
And Danny McBride's character is the one that's, he's got the big sideburns. He's kind of the tough talking, walking.
Yeah. I'm
you know,
this right now.
His wife is played by the lady was the daughter in Longmire's daughter.
Yes.
She plays his wife.
This one.
Yes. And then Adam Devine is
Cassidy Freeman.
Yes. Adam Devine's the younger brother. He has
what is wrong with his hair?
It's awesome.
He's got past old school preacher hair.
He does, and it's got big old sideburns. That girl's the sister. They have a sister that wants to be more part of it, but they don't really let her do anything.
Oh, and I like her too.
She's funny.
She is so funny.
But the Adam Devine's character is kind of the young hip, so like they all live on the same compound, right? You go through the big gemstone gate, but they all have mansions.
Oh my!
So it's not like they have the main mansion and then a little house. They have all big epic mansions. But you go in, each one of them is different. You go to Adam Devine's, his is filled with video games and whatever. Yeah. You go to Danny McBride's, his is the big family one. But anyway, it's met with some controversy happens.
This guy?
Yes, he hasn't shown up in the episode. I think he just showed up. He's another minister.
Don't tell me. Okay, sorry, I don't want to spoil it. This is going to be funny.
But yeah, so there's some controversy and some blackmail. Like the first episode opens, and this is not really a spoiler. It opens with them doing a mass baptism, I think in China. And it's like, I don't know if they're trying to break a record or what, but they're in this pool, right? This gigantic swimming type pool, right? This will set the tone. This will make everybody want to watch the show. You included even more so. So it's got all three of them are baptizing people. They've got lines of them, right? And no pictures are allowed. Like you have a guy show up with his camera and they're yelling, and helicopters, they're yelling to get him out of here. No pictures during the services, you know, and so they're doing the baptisms. And meanwhile, the two brothers are arguing. And so like about something, and none of the people speak English, so they don't really know what they're arguing about. And so like Divine splashes water, because you just splashed me, and they're both, and he's like, shut up, you know. They keep doing the baptism, and all of a sudden you hear this alarm go off. Everybody's like, what? And they're like, wave, and they're in a wave pool, and nobody shut the wave pool off. And all of a sudden the big wave starts coming through, and it's throwing everybody all over the place during the baptism. It is so funny. Oh my gosh, but they have three jets, and the jet says the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Oh my God.
So it's like it plays up on that whole thing.
Okay.
But then there's a controversy, but it's like an hour-long show. It's not like most Danny McBride show he did with Eastbound and Down and Substitute. Is it Substitute Teachers or whatever? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Whatever that show is called. They were like 30-minute episodes. Yeah. These are hour-long specials. These are not straightforward, just slapstick funny either, like those other two. This has got more of a, it is funny, but it's also a drama. You know, there's conspiracies, there's controversies, there's like another church, the guy that was in you didn't see me shameless, what the hell was in Dermot no, not Dermot Mulroney, crap, Dylan McDermott, I don't remember.
I like Dylan McDermott. This guy?
No,
Dermot
Mulroney. Hold on, what is not
Mulroney.
It's Mole.
Oh, why didn't you say Mulroney?
Yes, that guy.
Dermot?
Yeah, him. He plays a local pastor, and he's kind of fighting with them because they're bringing in their mega church. And he's like, you know, you're going to mess up our thing. And he's like, well, maybe if they come to our church, maybe it's you're not doing something right. So there's a lot of different things happening. But yes.
It sounds insane.
Yes, just for you. People get run over. Twice. So
one's forward and one's back.
Yeah, so it's a great new show on HBO. It's only had 2 episodes so far.
Okay, so I can catch up on
the Righteous Gemstones. Yeah, I need to rewatch.
I'm gonna write it down on my list.
I need to rewatch the 2nd episode, but because I dozed off right at the end of it. So, but yeah, the Righteous Gemstones on HBO now. It's so great, such a great show.
Okay.
And I promise you, it probably won't be on for only a couple seasons, because Dan McBride is notorious for with his, because he wrote and directed and created it or whatever. His shows always only do like 2 seasons and then he cancels them.
Why?
He does I think he gets to where he finds that it's a good, really great show, and then he ends it before it runs its course, and he does something new.
All right.
He did Eastbound and Down, did 2 seasons, and I think it was over, and then they killed him off, and then they brought him back for a 3rd season because I guess he came up with a good idea. But you didn't see the body when he got died. He went off a cliff, and you found out that he was living in Mexico because he survived.
Nice.
And they did the same thing with that assistant teachers, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
They just did 2 seasons, then it ended. So, anyway, what else you got?
I got one more show to talk about. I started watching The Story of Us with Morgan Freeman, and it is actually so good.
Is it a story about me and you?
No, it's actually
the story of us.
The story of modern day slavery that's still taking place.
That's me and you
in the world.
Let me tell you, she locked me out of our house today.
It was an accident.
And then, like, I need you to go do this. I need you to go do the mail out there. I need you to. But meanwhile, you can't come in the house.
And that none of that actually happened the way he said it. Anyway, so The Story of Us, it's actually very compelling and interesting. He goes and meets with different people around the world about their stories of slavery. I mean, there's this one guy that escaped from North Korea. He was in a camp, he grew up, was born and grew up, yes, in a camp. Then it was all because his parents spoke out against, what was Kim Jong's daddy? Whoever, whatever. Yeah, whichever one. They spoke out against him. And so then his family was thrown in a camp to keep them quiet, because you're not allowed to speak against the government there. And so how he escaped that.
Apparently can't speak about our government now here.
I know. And then there's another story of another girl in, I don't know, one of the Arab countries. And due to civil war and stuff, people came into their house and killed their parents. And so her and her sister were hidden down. And when they came out, like the bodies, not only had they been killed, but they'd been like, cut up. And so they were on the run. And then somebody was trying to hurt her sister. And so she grabbed her sister and they ran. And then they ended up in a camp where they indoctrinate kids to be Al-Qaeda members and suicide bombers. And at the time, the lady, she was actually born a boy. Just to get you to the point of the story, she was actually born a boy.
Sorry.
And to be able to get out of the country, her and her sister grabbed burqas and covered themselves up, and they were able to somehow escape and all this. And then that's when he realized he felt more comfortable as a woman in a burqa. And so then that became the next struggle. If I made it to the U.S.
Was Morgan Freeman actually in the show or just narrating?
No, he's in the show interviewing these people.
Oh, okay.
And, you know, hit that person's struggle to become a woman and now finally feeling free. The slavery of the physical slavery, but also the slavery of not being who you are internally. And he meets with this lady in Guatemala and people here in the U.S. And, you know, people have gone to prison on purpose because they did something or unjustly enslaved in prison. I mean, so he's going through all different types of modern slaveries that keep people down. And what does it mean now to be free? It's interesting. It's deep. And it's Morgan Freeman.
I thought meant to be free is you could get into your own house.
Morgan Freeman's narrating. That's all you need to know.
Apparently, you get locked out of your own house when you buy lunch for people.
And it's interesting because you learn a little bit about Morgan Freeman's life and him joining the Air Force and all the struggles he went through in our modern century of they would, you know, he was smart enough to do something and they wouldn't let him because he was a black man.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's also gone through like 3 assassination attempts.
Has he?
Yeah.
with the
Has Fallen series.
Has Fallen. Yeah, it's insane.
But he rose up to become president of the United States.
Did, and he should. You know what? He should in real life.
He's been the president a couple times in movies.
He should, because, man, if he just talks to you, you're going to be like, yes, sir, Mr. President.
Yeah, what network is this show on?
It's also available on Netflix.
Do you just watch Netflix all the time?
That's what happened most recently. I've just been on a Netflix kick because I think that's the most accessible platform to most people. Thank you.
All right. So what is this news you have?
So my news, I'm so excited. I don't know if you got the alert, but I got the alert. This week, IMDb TV is live and running. You can watch it on your app. You can watch it on the computer. You go to IMDb. If you have an account, you log in, and you have access to TV shows and movies for free, guys. It's free.
They have that on Facebook.
I know. Well, but now IMDb has their own TV platform. So that was my news. So I was going and scrolling through shows.
Well, the other thing, too, with this new Disney Plus thing that's coming out November 12th, I figured probably going to talk about it on my weekly update on Thursday again a little bit. But I figured since they're TV related, I'll throw it out there. If you didn't hear about it, stuff on D23 this past weekend, there was tons of new announcements. Disney Plus's new streaming service is November 12th. Not only is it going to give you, what did I tell you? It was like 1,500 or 2,200 different things. It's like episodes of like 700 and something episodes of shows or something like that of all their different television shows.
Every Disney movie ever.
Yeah, every episode of The Simpsons will be on there because now they own The Simpsons too. But they've announced various new Marvel and Star Wars shows. They have one of my favorite shows already that I haven't even seen yet. I haven't seen it. It's already my favorite, people. It's going to be on Disney Plus as well. It is not Star Wars or Marvel.
Surprisingly.
I know, but it's The World According to Jeff Goldblum. It looks amazing.
It looks insane.
It's just Jeff Goldblum going and learning to do things and see things. But also, they announced some new Marvel shows. We already knew we were getting the Falcon and Winter Soldier, WandaVision, Loki, and Hawkeye. WandaVision, I don't think I told you, but they released a poster. They said the show is very much like a 50s sitcom type Dick Van Dyke. And the poster they released, it's a drawing, art poster. It's like Vision in a suit. So it's Paul Bettany in a suit. And then Elizabeth Olsen is like the dress with the pearls, and they're on the couch together.
Oh, that's so cute.
So apparently, we don't know what timeline anything's going to be in. So we don't know if this is going to be like
no idea.
Their time living together between Civil War and Infinity War. If this is something in their mind, maybe she's living in her own mind. You know, she's magic, whatever. We also are going
to get over the loss.
Yeah, I did find out. It could be throwing shade, but Falcon Winter Soldier, everybody assumed was going to be the first time Falcon became Captain America. due to the events of the other stuff of taking over the mantle, which is in the comics, so it's not really a spoiler. Winter Soldier and Falcon have both become Captain America in the comics. But they did say that he's going to be the Falcon. He's the Falcon.
Yeah.
But we don't know if that means he's going to be the Falcon as the mantle of Captain America or what, or this just be trying to confuse us. It's like Marvel likes to do.
That's what they do.
They did announce it. Wyatt Russell, who's Kurt Russell's son, looks just like Kurt Russell. So if they ever need a young Kurt Russell,
they got it.
They've got him. He's going to be playing U.S. Agent, which I'm very excited for in that same show. And they're also bringing back the one that was in Civil War that was Peggy Carter's granddaughter.
Yes.
She's coming back, whatever, Agent Carter, but she's coming back. They have a What If animated series coming out. What If you've never read it or seen it, it was a Marvel series where they basically take a storyline. Like one of my favorites was What If Wolverine was an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. It's all stuff about what if the Punisher...
Please excuse me.
What if the Punisher's family wasn't killed? You know, and how they deal with it from that kind of thing. And they did say that the first 22 episodes, I believe, of the show are all going to be connected to the 22 Marvel Cinematic Universe movies.
Oh my gosh!
So I know Haley Atwell is coming back to voice Peggy Carter.
Wow!
And it's going to be what if Peggy Carter became Captain Britain.
I don't even know who that is. Captain Britain is
another character, but I think they're saying what if she became Captain America, which in turn would make her Captain Britain because she's English. But so we have that. Then we also have the new Star Wars show, The Mandalorian, which we've talked about on our shows before because we got to see the presentation in Celebration. They finally released that.
We saw that trailer like a year ago.
In April. Not a year ago, but it was in April. But couldn't tell anybody really about it. Like you could tell them about it, but
we posted it live.
Well, not that trailer.
We couldn't. We had to turn our cameras
off. We were able to post the behind the scenes footage they released.
They wouldn't.
But you could tell people, but it didn't do it justice.
You have to see it.
So they finally released that this weekend, and everybody's losing their mind, just like I knew they would, like we did when we saw it.
It was so good.
But they still didn't get to see that 10 minutes of the show that we got to see.
We got to see extra.
But in the midst of all that, they also announced Ming-Na Wen joining The Mandalorian. That's going to be exciting. We've got the Cassian Andor series coming. We don't know when it's coming. We know K2SO is going to be back as well. And the biggest one that has been speculated, and the news was broke by my buddy Jordan at Cinelinks. Ewan McGregor is returning as Obi-Wan Kenobi.
I'm
for an all-new series. And I don't know if I told you this or not. In the midst of that panel, they said all the scripts are done, so they're already going to be starting to shoot soon. So it'll probably be next year sometime before we see it. So there's that. Also, they released the teaser trailer for the Netflix original movie El Camino, which is a Breaking Bad movie.
What? And it's the sequel. I saw something about
this. It's a sequel to Breaking Bad.
On our website.
The teaser trailer is this main character, and I've forgotten his name, but he's being interrogated by the police, talking about Jesse, who was played by Aaron Paul, who was partners with Bryan Cranston's character, and talking about him on the run. So this movie is dealing with after effects, because if you've never watched Breaking Bad, you don't know how it ended. Like, you've never watched it.
I've never watched it,
so you probably should watch it, because it's one of the greatest shows of all time, I believe. So this is basically that. We got the spinoff show Better Call Saul, but everybody's been wanting to know what happened to Jesse and stuff afterwards. And this movie's about that. And then also, it's kind of dual news. It was announced that Ronda Rousey was joining the cast of 911. So we got to watch that. But
I'm all caught up now.
But she also almost lost a finger last week.
Yes.
And an injury on the set of 911. And she posted a picture of their pink. I don't remember which finger it was.
It's all messed up.
But it was all hanging off, so they had to reattach it and stuff. So that was all I was going to talk about right now. I'm not going to do the review about it today, but since it is about an old TV show, be on the lookout to hear about the Banana Splits movie that I just posted a review for on our page. If you don't know the Banana Splits, it was a TV show in the 60s. So you'll hear about this Sunday on Hollywood Matrimony Live. But since this is TV Tuesdays, I brought it up because it was a TV show. It's still TV. And sadly, we're out of time to talk about Jim Cotta.
We'll get to it next time.
Jim Cotta has become our Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
Anyway, so what you got, sister?
That's it. That's all I have for today. Thank you so much for watching.
You're supposed to do your plugs now.
I'm ready to do my plugs.
Well, I'm waiting for you to do your plugs.
Thank you for watching. Make sure you go to our website, HollywoodMatrimony.com. Check out all the movie news and reviews you can handle, because it's being updated every single day. Make sure you go up to the top to the contest links, because we're always giving away free stuff. I love free stuff. Anyways, thank you for watching us here exclusively on YouTube. You can also find us on Facebook, on Twitter, and on Instagram.
And don't forget to hit that subscribe button here. Oh, somebody's calling. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button right here, as well as the subscribe button over here, and check out fun little trailers over there. And who knows, maybe the trailer for the re-release of Midsummer Director's Cut will pop up there soon. Peace.
Wow.